Some of the greatest athletes and prolific achievers of this generation has one unusual trait that most people would consider outright stupid. They only eat one meal a day. Now before you start commenting about how bad and dangerous this is, just hear me out first, because I have some rather shocking information that these great achievers are using to their advantage. Eating one meal a day is a disaster for unhealthy food corporations and pharmaceutical industries, because they would go bankrupt if the majority of people follow this advice, while at the same time dramatically enhance your cognitive function along with physical well-being. So in this video I'll show you why everything you thought you knew about food is wrong, and why top athletes and high achievers only eat one meal a day. This kind of eating is an extended type of intermittent fasting where they consume calories for about 1 hour a day and fast for the remaining 23 hours, and they usually eat in the evening. This means no breakfast, no lunch, and no eating before working out. But don't you need to eat before working out to have good results? Well, not really. It might make you feel better since you're used to it, but it's definitely not required. Now granted, this type of diet is not for everyone, but you might want to give it a go since it has some crazy benefits and some of the greatest athletes are doing it. Ronda Rousey is or was doing the one meal a day diet when she was competing at her peak, when she absolutely destroyed her competition in both Strikeforce and the UFC. And after becoming the first female American to get an Olympic medal in judo in 2008, she went to dominate MMA for a number of years, and she explains one of her secrets for her huge success in an interview with MMA Mania. She says it's kind of a combination of the paleo diet and the warrior diet. I pretty much eat one meal a day, which takes place at night. There's one exception to all of this: each day I get to have coffee every morning. And she continues to say that she can get more out of a training on an empty stomach than she would on a full stomach, and I'll explain why this is in a minute. And another top athlete that follows the one meal a day diet is Kohei Uchimura, a 7-time Olympic medalist, 19-time world medalist, and by many considered to be the greatest gymnast of all time. He recently also revealed that he only eats 1 time per day, which came as a huge surprise for most people. And before he gets to destroy his first and only meal of the day, he has worked out not only once but 2 times already. And another advantage having an empty stomach is that he doesn't get sick from all the spinning and flipping he does. And he says that he feels like he's in a good state training on an empty stomach. And the same goes for General Stanley McChrystal, who was Special Operations Commander and also overseeing NATO forces in Afghanistan. He thinks it's extremely convenient to not have to cook and eat several meals a day, and it keeps him in peak physical condition. And eating one meal a day can also dramatically enhance the cognitive function and mental clarity, because in that fasted state it forces the brain to get its fuel from ketone bodies in a process called gluconeogenesis. And this happens when the other sources of energy are depleted. And ketones are actually the preferred source of energy for both the brain and body, and can make your brain run up to 70% more efficiently than on blood sugar and glucose. And if you want to know more about this, you can watch my other video called How to Unlock Your Brain Capacity, where I explain this further. But the biggest concern people have when hearing about this is that they think they would be so hungry and they would for sure fall into starvation mode. And to be honest, starvation mode, as most people know it, is just a mythical saying with no research to back it up. I've heard it so many times from friends and family and teachers and even my sports coaches that used to tell me that you need to eat many consistent meals throughout the day in order to avoid this horrifying state called starvation mode, which will definitely kick in around 2 to 3 hours after consuming your last meal, right? It will slow the metabolism down if I don't stuff my face with food every 2 hours, right? Absolutely not. No research has ever been able to prove this, because there is none. Take this Scottish lunatic Angus Barbieri for example. The guy was termed grossly obese at 456 pounds and decided to fast for an extended period in order to reach his goal weight of 180 pounds by only drinking water, tea and coffee. He managed to lose a whopping 276 pounds, weighing in at 180 pounds after, listen to this, 382 days without eating and going almost 2 months without taking a shit. I know this is an extreme example, but it was done under supervision at the University Department of Medicine at the Royal Infirmary of Dundee, Scotland, and he managed to do it without harm and would eventually live to be 98 years old, never going over 200 pounds again. So the bottom line is fasting for the whole day and only eating one huge meal can actually do far more good to you than eating throughout the day. And there has been many studies on how fasting affects the physical aspects, and since fasting is promoted by some religions, researchers have been able to study these effects on a broad majority of people and have been able to come up with some overwhelmingly positive conclusions. Eating one meal per day showed that it significantly reduces fat mass while retaining both muscle mass and strength. So fasting has the ability to rev up fat burning by using fat as fuel, which is something the body can't do when you eat all the time. In fact, many people prefer fasting to traditional diets because it doesn't require you to meticulously measure your foods and track the calories and grams consumed. Fasting is indeed associated with a lot of favorable health outcomes, even though fasters can eat as much as they desire in that eating window. And other studies displayed the impressive benefits that eating one meal per day has on heart health. It showed that it can help keep your heart healthy by lowering certain heart disease risk factors while influencing several components such as increasing good HDL cholesterol and decreasing both bad LDL cholesterol and triglyceride levels. And fasting also reduces blood sugar along with lowering insulin levels by up to 50%, which is huge, as insulin levels and the release of natural human growth hormone are indirectly related, meaning when insulin levels are low, release of human growth hormone is high. Now, I could make a whole video about natural human growth hormone and its great benefits, but just know it's like the true fountain of youth that we can trigger inside of us, and it's responsible for anti-aging, longevity, fat burning, muscle growth and more. And to cite one study, intermittent fasting has crucial effects on physical and intellectual performance by affecting various aspects of bodily physiology and biochemistry that could be important for athletic success. And this is why intermittent fasting and only eating one big meal a day is becoming increasingly popular among high-level athletes as well as prolific achievers. And if you want to try this, just know that it might take a while to get used to it, and your body will most certainly be resistant at the start, but it will adapt after a few days or weeks. And drinking moderate amounts of coffee in the fasted state is recommended and will keep you energetic, suppress hunger, while also accelerating metabolism, making you burn even more fat. However, you want to avoid adding sugar or sweeteners and just keep it plain for best results. And one of the best coffees for intermittent fasting is Fighter Fuel from Bro Labs, which is basically designed to enhance cognitive function and focus without giving you those hunger crashes. So I'll leave a link for this coffee in the description if you want to check that out. And I know some of you are skeptical about this, and that's very understandable, but I can assure you I'm not making this up. And I'll leave links to all the references in the description if you want to read into it. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll try to answer them. Having done a few videos like this before where I suggest an alternative to what is popular often comes with criticism, but I'm not doing these videos to step on your beliefs, but rather to present other options which might be better for you. So I hope you enjoy this one and make sure to subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one.